At first glance, the 2024 Republican presidential nomination is not much of a race. Donald Trump is literally lapping the field with an average lead of over 30. Yes, 30 points. And if you expand the aperture to include Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, you then have two candidates accounting for about 75% of the vote share, which, because of math, leaves 25% for all of the other remaining candidates to divvy up. And yet, we are seeing an influx of candidates into the race, with former Vice President Mike Pence, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum all expected to get into the race just this week alone. So by my count, there are now at least 10 Republicans either in the race or about to be in the race, with at least 3 more waiting in the wings. Now, even if all of the maybes run, and they probably won't, the 2024 race will still have fewer candidates than 2016 when 17 people were in the race at one point. But the 2016 race was far more wide open than the 2024 race looks to be. So what gives? Why are so many people running in a race that looks, at least at first glance, like a foregone conclusion? If you ask a campaign that question, they will give you some milquetoast answer about how they see a clear path to victory with their candidate's winning message and personality. Sure, that's not the truth, however. The truth is that there is an unspoken belief, or whispered about belief, that Trump might not make it to the finish line in this race. And that belief falls into 2 broad categories, the legal and health. Let's tackle the legal end of things first. So Trump is already under indictment in New York for alleged hush money payments made to a porn star who said the two had an affair. That case is expected to go to trial in March 2024, right in the heart of the Republican primary fight. And there's a Georgia prosecutor who is looking into Trump's pressure campaign on state elected officials to overturn the 2020 election results in the state. Indictments in that case are expected later this summer. And then there is the federal probe into Trump's retention of classified documents after leaving the White House. That investigation seemed to jump up a notch recently, with CNN reporting of the existence of an audio tape in which Trump acknowledges he kept a classified document and probably shouldn't share its contents. Now, that admission, of course, runs directly counter to the Trump team's defense that he declassified every document he had in his possession, which is, of course, not how the declassification process works. You're the president of the United States. You can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it, Trump told Fox News' Sean Hannity recently. No, that's not how it works. Anyway, the broader point here is that Trump faces significant legal challenges over these next weeks and months. And it's possible that he could be indicted in 1, 2, 3 separate cases by the time the first votes of the 2024 race are cast in Iowa next January. Now, the question, of course, is whether that will slow or stop his momentum in the race. I've long thought of Trump as akin to Montgomery Burns, the fictional rich guy in The Simpsons show. There's an episode of that show where Mr. Burns goes to the doctor and finds out he has every disease known to man. And yet he remains healthy because all of the diseases are blocking each other from inflicting damage to his body. That's Trump's legal problems, at least to me. There are so many of them that it's hard to keep track of all of them. And as a result, some, and maybe many, Republicans sort of ignore all of them, lumping the various investigations into some sort of deep state conspiracy to get Trump. The belief of the candidates not named Donald Trump, however, who are running for president in 2024, is a little bit different. What they see is the various investigations as dark clouds hovering over the former president. Even if every one of those clouds doesn't produce rain, some will. And invariably, Trump will get wet. Put another way, the throw weight of the charges against him, both current and in the future, will get to a point where he will buckle under them, and then he will collapse. And his support will be up for grabs in a race with no clear frontrunner. Now, the other part of this whole calculation is Donald Trump's health, which we have no real sense of because Trump has never released any sort of detailed medical records. But at least here's what we do know as of right now. Number 1, he's overweight. Number 2, he loves fast food. Who doesn't? Number 3, he spurns exercise. I wish. Number 4, he turns 77 this month, which when you add it up would suggest that he is probably not in great health. Now, while no candidate wants to talk about this, there are whispers about what happens if Trump is, for some sort of health reason, unable to run in 2024. The race would be thrown wide open. And with Joe Biden's poll numbers where they are, the nomination would be very much worth having. So what? Combine the legal and the health factors, and you have a group of candidates all waiting to see if Trump crumbles in one way or another. None of them want to get caught flat-footed, and so they are in the race to ensure that if there is a stumble or even a fall from the frontrunner, they will be positioned to have a chance to take advantage. That's the dirty little secret of the 2024 Republican race, and it's why the field just keeps getting more crowded.